Lovers of the association. This is your guy Marcellus Ease. And this segment right here, we got the Golden State Warriors trying to avoid the inevitable downfall of an NBA franchise. And they have had many attempts at this with the Jordan Poole rebuild that kind of flopped after the Draymond punch, and also what took place at this year's trade deadline with Kevin Durant rejecting the possibility of a Golden State reunion. So the 36-year-old Jimmy Butler move might end up being the old saying of desperate times equals desperate measures. But the Golden State Warriors do have a lot to work with. They have a top 10 defense, and also Jimmy gives them an option outside of Stephen Curry, especially when he's on the bench. They got to find a way to keep up with the scoring somehow. But in this segment right here, we'll take a look at a lot of the intangibles as well as the tangibles that Jimmy Butler does bring to this Golden State Warriors team. His off-ball movement, the way he operates out of the short roll, his dynamic with Draymond Green, and also how the dynamic of the two-man game between him and Stephen Curry. But hey, I'm not going to say no more. Let's just get to it.
It's all about winning. So whatever happens, but at the end of the day, if it's for the right reasoning and it's to get a W in that column, what else really matters? I'm glad that I get the opportunity to get here and help get us to winning and do something special. I think that's why I'm here, and I will do my best to do what everybody wants, and that's to win a championship. I mean it.
I'll go right. So fresh off that extension, there's a lot of things good old Jimmy Boy is going to bring to this Golden State offense. Look at very early on in transition, you got Stephen Curry on the weak side, and Butler right here forces this switch really early on. And unlike guys like Andrew Wiggins, he's going to take full advantage of it right here. See, he easily boxes the defender out and gets in position. He's a quick finisher. It sounds simple, but when was the last time the Warriors really had someone outside of Stephen Curry this season that really looks to put the ball in the hole like that? And when you really think about it, all that defensive pressure at the rim right here with the defense just having to worry about Jimmy Butler getting to the hoop, it takes a lot less attention off of Stephen Curry. And just going to more of the dynamics between Jimmy Butler and Stephen Curry really on in this possession right here, you're going to see how easy it is for Jimmy to get these switches, especially with the man on Curry. Because right here, defender is not going to leave Curry an inch to pull up and get this off. So it's easy for Jimmy to get these kinds of switches. And if right here, let's say he got a switch on a smaller defender, now Curry could drop it off and Jimmy can go to work. But you see how easily right there it was for them to get a switch, because once again, defenders on other teams, they're not going to try to go under, and they're not going to try to give Curry an inch of breathing room to get his shot off. Here's another scenario right here with Jimmy Butler. Look how easily he's going to get this switch on Derek White. They're not going to force the ball to him, but look how he's bringing him down low. So this is easily presenting another option for the Golden State Warriors outside of Stephen Curry being on the bench. They can get some easy buckets, and they can at least keep the game close so he doesn't have to come in and have to play hero ball. Again, with Steph off the floor, look at Jimmy Butler right here. He's forcing guys down low. This is easy offense right here as he draws the foul. And check out the score. It's a close game. So when Steph sits on the bench like this, this is where he can get more rest time and not have to worry about the game getting out of hand. And now the Golden State Warriors, they really have a nice little second option, I gotta say. And good old Jimmy Boy will pay dividends. And also with this offense, let's not forget the full complete package as Jimmy Butler forces this switch right here. But now we're going to insert the Draymond Green dynamic into this trio. Draymond with a nice feed right here to Jimmy. This connection is going to be interesting to see how it plays out in the course of the next few months. But right here, just a little off. But I like what Draymond was doing right there. Him operating out of that short roll, always a perfect decision maker. Definitely a Hall of Famer when it comes to that. And we can't mistake, Jimmy is also a great decision maker and a great playmaker himself to get the ball to the cup. So this is definitely a new dynamic within the Golden State Warriors. But again, the chemistry between Draymond and Jimmy, It's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. Here's some more of it right here in transition. Now watch here with Jimmy Butler. He has a great second hop. He's like a pogo stick. Quickly draws a foul right there. But that's another dynamic that adds to his interior game because he can shield guys off and then he could quickly get back up like a pogo stick. That's why Draymond Green in the short roll position, when he gets the ball in pick and roll, just his decision making, now he has another option as a great interior scorer in Jimmy Butler. And right here is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Look at Jimmy Butler as he shields the defender right here. We got Draymond. He's already peeping game. This is lovely right here. Quickly draws a foul and one. I'm telling you, those two combined together, this is going to make for a very interesting second half of the season. So the Golden State Warriors do have a top 10 defense that they could build on. And the dynamics of this former dynasty that's trying to get back to the way to the top, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how it plays out in the second half of the season. So here's another play between Steph, Draymond, and Jimmy. At first, it looked like it was going to be a quick flare screen, but then Jimmy tries to backdoor, and we're going to see Draymond's moves right here if he could connect, but chemistry is not quite down right yet. But you see how the three can make things happen outside of Curry just working so hard for the minutes that he does play. And all that attention with Jimmy just down low being that pogo stick is going to generate more open shots for guys like Buddy Hield and Pods. Here's some more Draymond Green in transition. Look at Stephen Curry, all the attention he draws. Everyone's so focused on him. And now Draymond has options. He stayed patient. We're going to look at that again. He stayed patient right there, boy. See, he stays patient, takes an extra dribble right there, weighs his options. Now he got Jimmy Boy backdooring. And yeah, you're starting to see the beginning flows of how this could possibly begin to all come together. And make no mistake about it, whether it's with the starters or the bench unit like we're seeing right here, Jimmy Butler is a playmaker as he attacks his closeout, and he could find guys open for shots. He threads his needle right here and gets the Warriors a bucket. So Stephen Curry doesn't have to be on the floor for easy buckets to be generated for other teammates. As you see right here, Jimmy Butler, look at the gravitational pull, and he's going to get guys easier shots. Stephen Curry on the bench. Jimmy forces the switch on White, and he's going to make things happen. He attacks, gets guys cleaner looks. That is something that Butler does have on his resume that guys that came before him did not have, such as Andrew Wiggins. Here's Jimmy once again with the bench unit coming for Pods on this screen. Right here, watch how Jimmy Butler shields the defender off right here and leaves this whole space open. Pods misses it, but eventually he's going to ding this down real early because Jimmy had it, and he would have had an open, attempt at the cup, possibly to draw a foul. But Pods misses it right here. He misses it right here. He should have dumped it off already. It should have been dinged off right here. Let's take a look at that one more time. Pods on this screen right here. You see Jimmy with the complete shield off right here. Pods should have dumped it in right here. But, in due time, they'll work it out. But going back to Jimmy Butler's playmaking, as you guys can see right here, the Bucks are kind of zoning up right here. Jimmy Butler's in a sweet spot to kill the zone. And now he's going to make things happen with this bench unit. He's giving them options. See, he can 1v1 right here with Bobby Portis. We all know he could take it to the cup. But also, he's good enough to make these entry passes. Again, easy offense. Here's some more Jimmy Butler playmaking this time around. Curry's on the floor, and his man is actually very up, trying to hedge this screen right here. So what Jimmy's going to do, he's going to ghost it. And with this advantage right here, sort of 2v1 right here, but Jimmy Butler is good enough to finish this on his own. That's something that the Warriors were truly missing. And because he's such a threat from in here, or just anywhere from the mid-range right here, guys are going to be wide open. Now we're seeing Jimmy Butler with this Bucks zone defense once again. He goes to the sweet spot, the high post to kill that zone. And we're going to see his playmaking ability. He can make passes from here, but he can also go 1v1 with Bobby Portis. That right there is exactly what the Golden State Warriors were missing this season. Someone that could finish in that scenario at a decent efficiency rate. That might be one of the issues that Steve Kerr is having with Kuminga, because at times he is a bit erratic on the pick and roll. I did a segment on that earlier in the season. Sometimes Jonathan Kuminga isn't quite reading things right, and he's not reading it fast enough. But he is athletic enough to finish, but the efficiency at the moment, it's just, I don't know. It might be because of lack of reps, but it's not quite where it should be, especially for the Golden State Warriors standards. But Jimmy Butler, kind of with his veteran experience, kind of brings him up to speed on that dynamic that they were lacking. Here's some more of that playmaking with Jimmy Butler. Time winding down. Warriors up by 1 right here. And his defender hedges. So both defenders right on Curry. Curry's going to drop this off. Now right here is going to be 4-on-3. What is Jimmy's decision making right here in this short roll? He's good enough to put the ball down and finish, and he's good enough to make the passes that need be, whether he has to thread the needle or alley pass. Here's Jimmy once again in that same exact scenario. Both defenders are going to hedge on this one, and Jimmy's going to ghost his screen. And now, right here, 4-on-2. What is Jimmy going to do? 4-on-2. Him in this short man role, he can make things happen. And I got to say, for the Warriors to have a playmaker outside of Stephen Curry and Draymond that has just a good enough IQ as them, it's really going to put this team in a different position, I would say, a different tier in that Western Conference, where the middle of it is kind of muddy right now, with the Sacramento Kings changing their team. The Phoenix Suns are sort of up and down this whole season. You know, that Western Conference in the middle is kind of in a gray area of what's going on. The Clippers are kind of mixed in there, but the second half of the season, things are definitely going to shake up. Again, here's Jimmy Butler sort of in the middle of that zone, that Bucks zone defense right here, and he playmakes. You see, you got the off-ball movement of Draymond, just cutting relentlessly. Same thing for Curry. You have the great passing ability of Jimmy Butler, along with Stephen Curry and Draymond. Once these three guys get in sync, this is going to be an interesting, I would say, tail run of this Golden State Warriors era. Right here, we're seeing very early on, this is just a small dose, possible chemistry these guys can have together. And this new look three-headed monster from the Golden State Warriors will be able to feed off each other. As right here, Jimmy Butler wide open for a three-point shot, right? But now he's going to attack this closeout. And because Stephen Curry is such a threat right here, he's not necessarily always going to get that extra help defender bothering him all the time. And he's good enough to attack and finish on Brook Lopez. So Curry and Butler will benefit from each other's gravitational pull. As Curry right here is in the corner, and now Jimmy attacks. So it's not like this defender is going to help out and close out on Jimmy. You see the kind of attention Stephen Curry demands? There's no closeout right here. Again, we're going to see Jimmy Butler completely benefit out of the attention from Stephen Curry as he gets to switch here, but the defender quickly switches on Curry as he's not trying to leave him any kind of breathing room to pull up. And that's why I said this three-headed monster is going to be something else to deal with. And Jimmy right here is strong enough to bring this smaller defender down low, post him up, and take him 1v1. And we'll truly get to see if this is a match made in heaven. The Golden State Warriors are trying to end their twilight years on one last Cinderella ride. And they're hoping that Draymond Green's emotional ass does not butt heads with Jimmy Butler. And also the dynamic of Jonathan Kuminga when he returns. How is that going to work out? Because those contract negotiations are going to get quite interesting. Could he possibly fit into this whole scenario? But we'll see how it plays out. Stephen Curry deserves at least to play somewhat competitive basketball to end his run here. The Western Conference, in a way, is a bit wide open. So for the Golden State Warriors, the next few years is going to be one last dance. And until next time, you fellas, stay safe. Peace.